Everybody wants to be successful, and yet we all have different ideas of what that is. Finding success is the journey we embark upon to go and get what's ours. We are willing to travel down within to find our greatness buried deep inside of us. Questioning society's views and flipping the script, putting our own stamp on life. We're here because our future is within our control. Finding success is how we grab hold of what is possible. The relentless pursuit of success starts here. We're Finding Success, and we're here to help break that monotony of your life and help you find your version of success. Welcome to another episode of the Finding Success podcast with me, Alex.
And me, Adam.
This episode 19. What's this one going to be about, Adam? Get onto it.
Today we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of people struggle with, and being happy with yourself. I think being happy with yourself is, if not the hardest thing to start off with in life. I think a lot of people struggle with being happy just for themselves, and a lot of people get into debt. We posted the recent image on our Insta. If you haven't already, please go and follow it at @_findingsuccess_. Great little post. And the post is, so I think, something that people fall into a trap very often, and it's wasted income to look good about themselves. And, you know, people waste income to make themselves feel happy. But in the long run, you're making two mistakes, aren't you? What you're doing, you're losing income and you're buying stuff that no one really cares about.
Buying material things that you make you happy for the very small period of time when you bought them. You got that high from that purchase, and then you and it's not something you actually truly want. Something that you're trying to impress people that either you don't like or don't know. So, is that what you mean? Yeah,
exactly. And then you know, by 2 days down the road where your trainers has got dirty, or you've spilt some red wine on your coat or something, and you've gone, oh well, I've just ruined that coat. It's cost me £800, and now I've made myself even more upset because I looked at my bank account and I spent that money, and now what can I do?
Yes, yeah, money's it's very tight. It's close knit to being happy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, for me, yeah, it is. I think some people are different
in this day and age.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. But yeah, being happy with yourself is such a hard thing to grasp. It overall, I think it's one of the hardest things on someone's journey to success to graft, because learning stuff, you know, there's so many books out there and so many courses and so on and so forth that you can just read, and your success is there. You know, it's imminent. If you're happy with what you're doing, it becomes easy. Being happy with yourself in personal life, you know, from your day-to-day life, is something a lot of people struggle with, and we both know that from family or friends or anything. You know, we come across people every day in everyone's lives that aren't happy with themselves, and even though on the outside they may look happy, they may seem to be smiling and having a good time, on the inside only that person really knows how they truly feel. And if they're in sort of a bad, you know, dead-end job that they're not really enjoying, or they've got some family problems at home, even though they're trying to make themselves feel happy and look happy, it doesn't mean that they are.
Do you think people are, in general, unhappier these days, or happier than back in the past, say 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago?
40 years ago, I would say people were a lot happier.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one reason is this. People who can't see, I'm holding my phone.
Bring it up, yeah.
Things like the internet have brought amazing opportunities to people in our lives, in our day and age. You know, the internet has increased everyone's life.
Yeah,
in the fact of, you know, the knowledge that you can earn and learn and whatever you can do on the internet is amazing. But at the same time, things like that didn't exist, and friends and family were more important.
Yes. And
even though if you were a straight up entrepreneur and businessman and creator and inventor, business still worked back in those days without the internet, and it worked quite well.
Well, very well, yeah.
You know, people like Andrew Carnegie, the steel guy, Harrison Ford, what's his name?
Tom. Is it Tom Ford?
I can't remember his name. The other guy.
Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
JP Morgan. Look at the might that he was.
Exactly. And then you've got all these sort of tech companies that come into it, you know, the Steve Jobs. That is when things started to change. Even though they were releasing laptops and stuff like that, you know, internet wasn't really around, but they were still changing people's lives in regards to, you know, you can write it now on a laptop and you can print it out on a laptop, or
get a message to somewhere else in the world within an hour, instead of 3 days or 4 days it would take.
I think that's where a lot of people's lives changed.
Yeah,
because then
the world changed.
Yeah,
like
massively. Not to say people can't be happy today, obviously. You know, it's just, I think it's a lot harder to be happy with internet.
Yeah, so I don't blame the internet personally. I think the internet's an amazing tool, but I would actually blame our way of thinking. We're always comparing ourselves. It's the comparison. What's the saying? The comparison's the theft of joy, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because we're always on these phones looking at other people's lives that are doing better. You know, no one ever follows your average Joe, do they? You always want to follow the supermodels or the athletes, the successful people, the Cristiano Ronaldos. And you see their life, or maybe you're not comparing it to them, but you're comparing it to the people you follow and the people you're looking at every day. And maybe that's just stealing that little bit of, you may not feel it at the time, but every time you scroll, look at a photo, you're doing it in your head, you're comparing yourself to somebody. And I think that's what takes away a lot of the joy from everybody these days. That's where we're all losing our joy, our happiness.
Yeah, I agree. I think Matt, we've said this before, and I've hit it home quite hard. Social media is such a curse as well as a help. You know, there's two sides of social media, and your average Joe, she said, will look at the Kim Kardashians, the Cristiano Ronaldos, the whoever, Elon Musk, or whatever, who you know, granted he's changed his overall way of posting and so on and so forth. But take the Cristiano Ronaldo, for instance, of posting the massive house, the car, the girlfriend, the kids, the perfect life, the white picket fence, the cats, the dogs, the minivan, he's got everything that you can ever want in life.
Yeah.
And that's what people look and scroll for every single day. And they kind of expect it to happen to them. And it's...
Yeah. I think it was Neymar posted a little while ago. I think you saw it, Stab. It was just him looking in his garden, looking at his house. He just happened to have his helicopter in the garden at the same time. It's just like,
I expect my helicopter to be there in the morning.
I wish I had room in the garden for a helicopter. So following on from that, I think it's also the noise from the world. Because everything is so instant, we're so focused on this. It's so noisy, constantly going off. Like, how many notifications do you get a day?
Oh, mate.
That would be a cool thing to monitor. How many we get a day? I bet you, maybe there's not a correlation between the amount you get and how happy you are, but I bet you could, if you removed a certain amount of notifications, maybe we should do this test. We should count the amount of notifications we get one week, and then next week, like, start removing them. You can turn off notifications. Maybe turn them off, and just see if we feel any different. Probably won't. But
that's one of the reasons why turning your screen time off, limiting your screen time on your overall maps is an amazing thing, because you limit yourself to a day-to-day usage.
Yes.
And I don't know about everyone else, but me, I find myself 100 times more productive when I get told I'm locked.
Yeah, same.
Out of an app.
Same.
I can't sit down and do nothing. I have to go and go, right, I've got to get stuff done. I've got to do the washing. I've got to do work. I've got to grind. I've got to work on podcasts. I've got to make content. I've got to do trading. I've got to do investing. You've got all these other things that you can do in your background. But if this bloody phone's in front of you, you go, just another 10 minutes.
And when is it 10 minutes?
It's not,
because it zooms, but you lose the sense of time.
Yeah.
But 100% the same for me. When it comes up, it's actually more of an alert. It works as an alarm. I've done nothing. I've lost an hour today. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Just doing nothing. Yeah. It's like, damn, this is... Go and do something.
Yeah.
Go and do something. You have to. Yeah, I think it's really good.
We'll do that as a test, actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe we won't feel any different, but we might have focused on something else. Like, say, over Christmas, personally, I don't look at my phone that much just because you're with your family so much.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because you're absorbing that time. So maybe if we do that just around our day-to-day lives, families, you might just notice you give them a bit more time, give them a bit more energy.
Friends, family, everything's going to change, isn't it?
Even colleagues, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the question I want to ask you, knowing and having your self-worth, how often sort of do you think about your self-worth? And, how often does it come back onto your life and go, am I worth people's time? Am I worth doing this podcast? Am I worth talking to someone and trying to help them out? Do you sort of recognise that quite often, or?
No, I try not to think about that not when am I worthy of talking to someone or something. I don't think of it like that. I sometimes think I'm worth more than what I'm doing. So it's sort of, I use it as a kick up the ass to say I'm on Instagram, and that alarm goes off saying, "Oh, you're locked out of this app now." I'm like, "Come on, you're better than this. You do need to, if you want to be better than this, you need to crack on." So I think I notice myself underperforming. Like, is that the word? I don't think of it that much.
No,
not self-worth. Maybe I should. I don't know. It's because of the industry we work in. We don't really get a chance.
I thought about this the other day, and it's funny for me, especially. I'll give an example. So the other day, I had to go out during work hours to pick something up, and then someone was like, "Oh, do you just want to go to, I don't know, Haribo and get some sweets for me?" That's a joke, for instance. Oh, well, I don't work at Haribo. I wish I did. But it was like, yeah, no worries. Have you got a company van? What? Have you got the van and the keys, please? Just take your own car. It's only like 5 miles down the road. I was like, no, I'm not taking my own car. I want company van and keys. Why do you want that? Well, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. I'm currently working. I'm not using my fuel that I've worked for to spend back into the company. I'm not doing that. Well, go on, it's only 5 miles. No, I'm not going. Get someone else to do that because I'm not doing that. And I know that's not really self-worth, but that's knowing yourself in your own money and in respecting your own money, in my personal point of view.
I see where you're coming from now. I do then, in a way, because I make sure I take my lunch times and I make sure I leave on time.
Exactly, yeah.
So my time is my time.
Yeah.
I don't want them robbing me of like taking the mix. So yeah, I suppose in that way, yeah, I do.
Me and Slab spoke about this the other podcast we've done as well. But what about helping people out? If a friend's foot's fallen off and he needs to go and find it for him, would you go and find it for him?
Does he have a rough idea where it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, if his foot's fallen off, I'll go and help him. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like him to have his foot again. How close are we?
No, okay. So that was a bit of a bad example, but for instance, like say if your friend needs some cash,
yeah,
would you help them out?
Probably not.
Okay.
Lending monies can get smelly, can't it?
You can indeed, especially with a friend.
Yeah.
It's only 20 quid. Pay me back tomorrow. Well, I get paid tomorrow. I'll pay you back tomorrow. Yeah, no worries, mate. They never pay you back tomorrow.
No, you will never.
And even if it's your bestest friend, 9 times out of 10, they will not pay you back tomorrow.
Yeah. I'd argue anything under 100 quid you wouldn't get back.
Yeah.
Because you just it'll come back around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you think it does come back around?
No, because I forget.
Yeah.
I live with 4 lads. Well, to be fair, it's slightly different living with the 4 lads because it does tend, not pound for pound, but you sort of do
share and share. It evens itself out.
Yeah. And only because we've been together so like 2 years plus that we've been living together. But for guys who work like Slab, I won't give you £1, mate. Sorry, I wouldn't. No, I'm joking. £2. It just doesn't come back around for anyone else. Yeah, I'm sure it's the same with you and your missus.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah. So.
What about time?
Time, that's expensive. That is expensive.
Because borrowing 20 quid is one thing. Borrowing 4 hours of someone's life is another thing.
Very
From my
much
personal point of view.
Very much so. That would, again, it would depend on what the situation was. We came back from a race weekend, and 2 really good mates from back home they were available at the same time. And it's very rare this happens. The stars align when we're all free at the same time. So I did take advantage, and they came around and we had a good time. But if they were to say, "Oh, let's do it again next weekend and the weekend after and the weekend after," that's when it's got to stop.
Yeah, okay.
Because we've had the good time there, mega. It was awesome, but now it's time to crack on again.
Yeah,
and I got my stuff I need to do. And that sounds harsh, but
I was in the same boat last week.
Yeah,
because my friend's having a kid, and he's like, right, the girls having like a baby shower. All of my mates, the really close mates that we went to the pub that were having like a baby shower in, and we just had a few beers and a meal and just sort of chatted out and just chilled and spoke to each other.
Yeah.
But Sunday comes around, boys, what are you doing? Do you want to fancy going for a bike ride? I've got work to do. I've lost one day. Yeah. And I really appreciate, that we've gone out for a meal. It's really nice to see everyone again. even though you're my best friends, I can't miss another day. I need to get my life back on track because I go away now, so I'm kind of losing time here. So they understand that, which is good.
That's awesome, yeah. Because the one thing you need to be successful, well, I know you need a lot, but it's two things is discipline and consistency.
Yeah.
And when you drop the consistency, you drop quite a lot of other things.
100%.
So it's good to every now and then to go see the boys, have a great time. You know, I love doing it as well, and I appreciate it more when it does happen now.
Yeah,
like I really do. It's mega, but then you also appreciate just keeping that routine going.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing for me. And that routine in turn, when I'm nailing everything, like if I have a really good week, nail my routine, I feel wicked.
Yeah.
Like that is happiness. I know it sounds really sad that a routine makes you happy, but genuinely, I don't know if it's hormones or what, but it just, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And it doesn't matter. And less external noises affect me, like what the latest gossip is or what people are doing at work, what happens to me at work, what work I've been given. It phases me less. It just goes straight over my head and I'm cracking on again. So the consistency to the routine keeps me happy.
Yeah, good. I like that. That's very good. All right. But now we're on a high. I'm going to keep it on a high. What's the few ways that you like, things that you like to do to make yourself feel happy on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis?
This is a PG podcast.
This is PG, yeah.
Oh, okay. A few things to keep me happy. Oh, that's tough. So,
like you just said, habits is one of them. Your day-to-day and your routine, that's another one.
Nailing the routine always makes me happy. Nailing a big chunk of work, say whether it's podcast, whether it's something to do with the portfolio, you know, building a business, nailing that, I always feel great. The gym, I do CrossFit and I absolutely love that. If I nail a good workout or have a good class that day, I feel mega. Yeah, so that's it again. That's part of the routine. That's daily, but it's just another boost of endorphins.
Yeah.
I have a little. This can sound really pathetic, like a little kid, but I have a little treat at the weekends: crumpets with peanut butter on. You know, the Skippy.
Yeah, the Skippy. Go Skippy.
Treat myself at the weekend. I was loving. Oh my goodness. That's a little treat, and it's just like a morning. It's a reward at the end of the week. You know, that keeps me happy. What about you?
I'm pretty similar. Like I said, routines is always good. And smashing goals. Obviously. Smashing goals is just another one, working out.
Yes.
Day to day, I find a struggle working out, but as soon as I've got free time, I will do what I can to get a workout in, whether that's a 15-minute, go in the garden, skipping a bit of a circle, or whether that's at the gym with the mat or whatever. I just love working out, and I'll tell you what, I also love making people laugh.
Yeah, nice.
That makes me feel happy. So when people are laughing, it makes me happy as well. And if I can take the mick out of myself, because I love doing that, because it's the type of person I am, that makes me happy as well. And see them happier, that makes me even more happy. Yeah. That's another thing I like doing. Only to certain people I like, though, obviously.
You don't make us
laugh. Doing what's on my priority list as well. Whether it is your day-to-day tasks, you work.
Ticking in boxes.
Exactly. Another one is actually meditation, I found recently.
Yeah, that went over my head. Go on.
I don't tend to do the standard meditation that like everyone sort of you picture as meditation. It's quite funny, right? Because I was watching this program the other day. Do apologise to everyone if I do offend. There's this guy who was hugging a tree, and then he'd done something called laughter meditation. And it was quite funny because he just sat down and started laughing, and everyone else started laughing. I'm like, well, that's my cup of meditation, that is.
Yeah.
But it just looked weird.
I've seen, so we were in Amsterdam not too long ago, and I went to Body's World. Fascinating place. I think there's some in London, in all over the place, but I recommend going because you learn about the body. It's freaky. It's incredible as well. I found it really fascinating. But I got into one room and it was about laughter and like the lungs and so on and so forth, like about that part of the body. And there was laughing yoga on the TV, and I just walk in the room and I just this horrendous laugh, and then more and more people did it, and it was just as I walked in the room, I got really self-conscious. I was like, "Oh,
who's laughing at me?"
Yeah. But I watched it, and they were just in a room. They weren't outside. They were in this hall, and group of 12 of them or something laughing, and it just made you happier.
Yeah,
watching them doing laughing yoga, and You know, you could tell it was forced laughter at the beginning, but they were all genuinely having a laugh at the end of that little laugh.
Exactly.
I think it works. There was something about it in the museum about it's infectious. It will.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah,
transfer, and I can't remember. I have to do a bit more research.
But I don't do that sort of meditation. But just sit. I wish I did now. Though I'm going to start doing it.
Should we start?
Yeah,
we could do a Laughing Yoda podcast. Yoga podcast.
Yoda podcast. But just sitting there and just taking the time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes or whatever. Even before a busy day or after a busy day, and if you had a crap night's sleep or you're feeling stressed or anything like that, just literally sitting there and just sort of clearing your head and just letting your mind wander is a massive, massive change in my life, I think personally. And, people can laugh if you do it, and if you don't do it, it's completely up to you. It doesn't matter where you do it, or, you could do it before you go to sleep, or you can do it when you wake up. It's completely up to you and depends on how you feel. But I do it after I wake up, before I get starting to work. And I think it just sets me up for a great mood throughout the day.
So I'll do it at night just before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I sleep like a king.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes I have quite interesting dreams as well. Since I started meditating. Don't know if that's anything to do with it, but
possibly it could be because your mind is more relaxed, isn't it? So you just sort of letting your mind wander, and I suppose falling straight to sleep after you've just meditated is probably one way that your mind is sort of relaxed, and you probably get a better night's sleep for it as well.
I think I do, 100%. And I wake up so much more fresh, so much easier to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
But, so going back a little bit, rewinding, we're just talking about what does make us happy. Not one of us said, like, a big materialistic thing.
No.
Or, like, they're very simple pleasures that are completely within our control.
Yeah.
Like, it's just our actions, which is quite interesting. I think if you aren't happy at home with your life, just start taking action in some way. You don't need a lot of money to be happy. It's completely it's your responsibility to be happy.
It is, yeah,
to make to make yourself happy. So maybe start looking towards that. Find a way of creating a routine or a job list, priorities list, and just give yourself a tick. Might start making you feel happy.
It's this argument, though, isn't it? It's like money can't buy you happiness. And then there's, like, to me personally, money can buy you happiness.
I was going to say, have you ever seen anybody on a jet ski unhappy?
Exactly. Exactly. But at the end of the day, the people who are spending money like that, buying a house, buying a Lambo for one of their goals, buying a jet ski, buying a boat, they're doing it because they're not trying to compete. They're doing it because they want it and they've worked hard for it. They're not getting into debt for it. They've got the money in their bank account to go and buy it. So that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Whereas someone who buys materialistic clothes, a flashy car that they have to pay monthly fees for when they go home to live in their small house with their mum, things like the brands that people wear, the nice Gucci shoes that everyone hypes over, when you could buy a bunch of Stan Smith, Adidas things that are half the price, 3 times less, and look just as good.
Yeah.
But because it's got Gucci on the side of it, people will pay for it. They think, oh, you look so cool with those on.
They're trying to impress people that they don't know, maybe don't even like.
Yeah, and you don't need that. And I think that is where the sort of step is. Yes, money does buy happiness in my eyes, but at the same time, people with money are smart and they can buy their happiness in certain ways.
They're almost rewarding themselves with those.
With their hard work.
Yeah.
And you can guarantee the people who are buying the boats, the cars, the houses, that have bought outright are the people who've had that in their plan from day one.
Yes.
On their vision board.
Yeah, they've not just got hankering for it on the sofa one night.
And they haven't got an urge just to go and buy a boat.
Yeah.
It's been in their plan from day one because they've planned it out and laid their goals out in their vision board and their 10, 20-year goal mindset and so on and so forth. And it's there. That's what they want.
Definitely.
And I know mine is. So hopefully I might get a boat one day. I think that's quite a good place to end, though. So thank you for coming back to another episode of Finding Success. If you haven't already, go back to episode 1. Give it a listen. This is a great podcast, and it tells you a great story from episode 1, so you will get the best out of it if you understand who we are. So go back to episode 1. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram @_Finding Success _ We also have a YouTube channel. If you have any questions, DM us or email us. The email is in the link in Instagram as well. But for now, guys, take care, have a good one, and we'll leave you with a nice little message as we always do.
Success is available for everybody, so why should you settle for less?